I am back again. I am doing another fixing of a house, and this time I'm doing Sandtrap flat, which is this house. And as you can see, it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Doesn't need fixing at all, really. Apart from maybe like everything. There are these holes in the roof here, and I get there for sunlight, but it's just weird. And also this gap in the foundation that just has a bin in it. I mean, it reminds me that I need to put a bin in my builds because I forgot to do that in this one, probably the last one too, but it's not the end of the world, it's just a bin. But then you have this living room, which is a giant open room with just nothing in it, basically. It's not as bad as the agave board sofa painting a blank wall, but it's not great. The kitchen's sad. The kitchen is really sad. You have this blue, ugly, cheap counters, cheap stove, cheap fridge. The bathroom is fine. It's okay. But this huge bedroom that takes up so much space in the house, it's not the best. I mean, my bedroom solution was not the best either, but you'll see. And then you have this big outdoor space outside with absolutely nothing in it. There's these tiles on the floor, on the ground, and that's it. What's up with that? And no, I just don't like anything. No. I'm really being really whiny, but like, let's just fix it. Let's just see if we can make it better. Hopefully we can make it at least a little bit better. Okay, so yeah, we're off. I spent a lot of time on the outside just trying to get it to look the way I wanted it, with like the windows and the color of the walls. Because I wanted it to be more like modern and crisp instead of, well, murky green and drab. But it wasn't very easy. I ended up with kind of like a Danish style window, which, I mean, it's Danish style in my head because in Denmark along the coast they have these little like cabins, and they're one story, so they're kind of like flat, and they have these tall narrow windows, and they're really nice. I mean, I like that style. It reminds me of summer. It's like this almost paradise-like place for me. I mean, it's different if you live there. I'm not saying Denmark is bad, obviously. Denmark is lovely. I love Denmark. But when you go on vacation to some place, like I've gone on vacation to Denmark last year and the year before. And when I'm there on vacation, it's like, I don't have work. I don't need to think about work. I don't need to think about my problems. I don't need to think about my stress. It's just like this idyllic summer place. It's the epitome of summer, if you get me. So I wanted to bring a little bit of that into the build, and I want to do one of those builds like later as well, like a summer Denmark build. But we'll see about that. For the moment, I'm just fixing this god-awful house. But speaking of Denmark, by the way, and going there in the summer, I will be going there this summer as well. I won't be telling you when, because I don't want anyone to come in and like steal everything in my house while I'm gone. Please don't come and steal everything in my house while I'm not here. I like my stuff. Yeah, I'm a little bit scared of like burglars, because there's been a little bit of burglary. That's hard to say. In the like around where I live, not lately, but before. So yeah, we always lock our doors. Always. I know people like in my family who don't lock their doors and never lock their doors. I'm not gonna say who, but like that's stupid. If you live in a place where that's fine, good for you. I mean, that's great. That must be really like, that must feel really safe and lovely. But we can't do that here. No, that's not safe. Please don't do that. Please lock your doors always. But yeah, I am actually going to Denmark this summer as well. I was supposed to go to Sweden. I had plans to go to Sweden because at Christmas, I'm a little bit all over the place. Sorry, but there's a method and a meaning to this. I mean, it makes sense. Just bear with. At Christmas, me and my mother always watch a Christmas TV thing. in Scandinavia, it's very common to have like a Christmas calendar on TV. Like there's a little episode of a TV series every day for like 24 days until Christmas. And I have this favorite. I think it's definitely my favorite, but I think it's my mum's favorite as well. It's called Mysteriet på Greveholm, which is Mystery at Greveholm, and Greveholm is a castle. So we wanted to go to Malmö, where the castle is located. Sorry that I say Malmö and it just sounds so weird, because when I say English, no, when I say Norwegian or like Swedish, this is a Swedish word. When I say non-English words, Jesus Christ, I can't even talk. When I say non-English words in the middle of an English sentence, it just sounds weird. Any like bilingual people out there, do you agree? It sounds weird, it feels weird, it's just weird. Sorry about that. But the castle is in Malmö, and we were supposed to go and look at the castle from the TV show. Because, I mean, why wouldn't you? It's cool. It's on TV, and then you get to see it in real life, and it's a big castle, and it's awesome. However, I thought that the castle would be like a museum, because very often castles are museums. Like, they're not privately owned. People don't just own a castle. Except this castle. It just so happens that this castle is privately owned, and the people who own it do not allow people like me to go and look at it, like look inside it, because I wanted to go inside it and look at all the like things inside it. But they don't like people doing that, and they don't like people coming around and like sneaking into their garden and looking at their house. So I'm not gonna go and sneak into their garden and look at their house. I am a nice person. I would also be terrified of being arrested, because I can't afford to be arrested. I mean, who can? Being arrested is expensive. I think. Isn't it? Probably. So, that's off the table. We're not going to Sweden. We're not going to Malmö. Plan B was going to Iceland, because I would very much like to go to Iceland. I mean, who wouldn't? Iceland is awesome. It has like volcanoes, and has thermal activity. It has the Blue Lagoon, where you can swim in warm, like, volcanic waters. Like, it's not boiling, thank God. But it's like super warm, and that's really nice. It sounds awesome. I really want to go to Iceland. Ever since, well, for a very long time, but especially since PewDiePie went there with Kick the PJ. And I want to do everything that PewDiePie does. YouTube channel, as a case in point. I love PewDiePie. And I also love The Simsy, which is why I'm doing this. But yeah, I just really wanted to go to Iceland. But unfortunately, going to Iceland is super expensive, and I'm poor. So, not that. So plan C. Plan C is going to Denmark again. And it might sound like that's a bad thing. No, it doesn't sound like that's a bad thing. I might make it sound like that's a bad thing. But it's not. I really want to go to Denmark. I love Denmark. And it can be like a lot less expensive, because there's a ferry from Kristiansand, which is a town at the very like southern edge of Norway, there's a ferry from there to Hirtshals, which is a town in the very north of Denmark. And taking the ferry is only like 1,000 krona or thereabouts. So it's expensive, but it's not like super duper expensive. And then we can sleep in a tent in Denmark, because tenting in Denmark is so cheap. Like, Denmark is a lot cheaper than Norway, and tenting especially, it's so cheap. Like, you can get by for about 100 krona, which is like $11 a night. Like $11 a night for tenting. That's so cheap. So that's great. And also, as long as there's not another super hot summer, like the summer for 2 years ago, it was so hot and like no rain. So we were in danger of forest fires like all summer. We couldn't barbecue. We couldn't use like flames at all. Like normally there's no like fires or anything in the summer. Like there's a rule against fires in the summer, but you can barbecue. But this summer we couldn't even barbecue, so that was a bit sad. So we had to spend a lot of like extra money in Denmark because of that, because we couldn't barbecue, so we had to go to like cafes and eat. But this year it shouldn't be as hot. It's not normally that hot, so we should be able to barbecue and save money there as well. And also we're thinking of bringing bicycles so that we can just cycle around instead of driving, because Danes they cycle all the time, so it's safe. They have like cycle paths. It's super great. So we'll save on petrol. Like, petrol is a lot less expensive in Denmark, but it's still expensive, and also it's bad for the environment to use the car. So it's all good. It's all great. We're going to a place called Løkken in Denmark. Again, it sounds so weird when you say like non-English words in the middle of an English sentence. I'm sorry, it just sounds weird. But we're going to Løkken, and this is a little coastal town, and it's so like picturesque and cute. I love it. We've been there for 2 years already, but I don't mind going back. It's so nice there. And also they have a little lighthouse called Rubergknute. I don't know how to say that in like Norwegian or Danish. Rubergknute. No, that just sounds stupid. Sorry to any Danish people. I'm not Danish. I don't know how to speak Danish. Okay, I'm sorry. But it's a little lighthouse, and last year they had to move it actually because of the erosion along the beaches. The lighthouse was getting dangerously close to like the edge of the cliffs around, because they're sand cliffs. They're not stone or rock cliffs. So they get super eroded every year, and the lighthouse was like pretty close. Well, not super close to tipping over, but like they were thinking maybe in 20 years it was going to tip over. So they just, practical Danes that they are, they just picked it up and moved it, which is awesome. It's just great. I missed the most of the live, because they had a live feed where you can watch it happen, because I couldn't go there, unfortunately, because it was like in autumn and I was working and stuff, and also I was working that day, so I missed most of the live feed from the move. But I caught like the end of it, and also I watched it later because it was still up. You can watch it after, but it wasn't live. But I watched most of it, so it was fun. It took a couple of hours, I think, to move it. Yeah, I'm the sort of person who might find that fun. Sorry. Not sorry. So I really want to go there and look at the lighthouse again, because now it's in a different location, and that's interesting. I mean, come on, how often do you experience that they moved a lighthouse? Have you ever experienced that, them moving a lighthouse? I'm gonna guess no, but then again, maybe you have, and I'm just accusing you of not having done it for no reason. Sorry. But I really want to go and look at the lighthouse, and we can cycle to the lighthouse from our camping spots, so we don't have to drive. It's gonna be a bit of a it's a couple of kilometers, so it's not super far, and Denmark is really flat, so it's not like stressful or anything. But if it's too hot, it's gonna be really hot. So we're gonna have to try and remember to pack like drinks, because I don't want to have heat stroke. I've had that before. It's not fun. Like, not super bad, but like bad enough. Sorry if I'm talking too fast. I tend to get a little bit overexcited. Also, the beaches in Denmark. The beaches. They're awesome. If you've never been to Denmark, but you've been to like Florida, it's kind of similar in a not super similar, but kind of similar way. Does that make sense? Probably not. They're just really long. In Norway, we have beaches, but they're not long at all. They're like 10 meters maybe across, and that's fine. But it's kind of cool to be on like a giant beach that just like stretches into the horizon. That's really cool. Like our camping spot, like I said, is a couple of kilometers away from that lighthouse, but we can totally see the lighthouse from our beach, from like the part of the beach that our camping spot is like directly above, because the camping spot is on the cliff, like the sand cliff, and there's a long staircase down onto the beach, so it's ideal. Last year we slept in, it was the spot like almost as close as you could possibly get to the beach. The year before we slept in the spot that was actually the closest you could get to the beach, or to the staircase that led down to the beach. So yeah, hoping for that spot again this year. There's a little bit of traffic like up and down from the beach past our tents, but like we can live with that. Just to be like that close to the beach, because you can get out of the tent in the morning and just like stumble down the steps and like throw yourself into the ocean from like a morning swim. It's so cool. I mean, the water comes in from the Atlantic. It's like straight in from the Atlantic, and it's there's no like, because further down the country there's less like direct. Oh yeah, I'm so great at explaining things. Because it faces like open sea. It's like straight out onto the open ocean. So the water that comes in, it's not heated up by the sun, because there's too much of it to heat up. So it's kind of cold, is what I'm getting at. The water is kind of cold. Not to a Norwegian. Like our water is super cold as well. So, but maybe to like other people. I've seen people like swim in wetsuits and stuff on the beach. So yeah, it's a little bit chilly. Sorry, I'm not making much sense. I would say maybe like 15 degrees Celsius at the most. Maybe even like down to 12. It's not very warm. But that doesn't matter. It's fine. I mean, just throw yourself in and you won't die. It's fine. So we do that. We take a morning swim. And you don't have to shower, which is great. Because you're clean enough from the water. It's awesome. The only thing I'm slightly scared of is this whole, coronavirus thing, which I gather you're not supposed to talk about. But just in this context, we might not be able to leave the country. Come like July. I mean August, September, May. Don't come around my house, please. I'm not telling you when I'm leaving. Kind of dumb. But yeah, we might not be able to leave the country then because of the coronavirus. But that's fine. We can work it out. It's gonna be okay. Hopefully. But yeah, it's just awesome because the showers in the camping area, not the nicest. I mean, I love Denmark. Denmark is great in every way, but the facilities in the camping spots, not the most inviting. That's my only negative from the entire country. Like just the facilities in the camping spots, they're not the most nice. But that doesn't matter when you can just go swimming every day. Like you can go swimming in the morning, you can go swimming midday, you can go swimming in the evening, and it's all great. Like you can clean 3 times a day. You don't have to shower, and your hair is so salty. It's just a mop. At least my hair gets like a mop. It just sort of sticks out, like straight out, basically. I look a little weird in the summer because my hair is always so salty. Because I don't want to shower. I just want to swim all day. But I mean, you can, and that's great. And since we're renting bikes, we can ride our bikes along the beach, and it's gonna be idyllic. It's gonna be super nice, and I just hope that the weather is great. I want sun every day, please. Well, okay, I can handle like maybe one rainy day, but last year there was like 2 rainy days, and that's a little much because we're not going there for more than like 4 or 5 days. So it was almost like half the time it was raining, and that's no thank you. But we went like shopping and did like other stuff that you can do when it's raining, and we have a plan this year for things that we can do if it is raining. There's like a monastery close by that you can go to, and you can actually go inside, like it's not privately owned. Sweden, are you listening? Sorry, of course you can own a castle. I mean, if I had a chance to own a castle, I would. Sure, it's crazy expensive, and I don't really understand how they can own a castle. Like the cost of the upkeep must be insane. So how they own that without like having tours and stuff of the place? Because you can earn a fair bit of money like having tours over a castle, I imagine. I've never owned a castle, so I'm not sure, but like it sounds like that's a thing you can do in my brain. But yeah, I've seen it on TV, so if I've seen it on TV, it's true. In no way is like 90% of what you see on TV fake. No, it's true. Yeah, I'm just a little bit salty that I can't like go to Malmö and go inside that castle. Because I really wanted to. I really wanted to. And it was so annoying when I found out that you can't. Like, I was so sad. Oh, and if you get really annoyed with me because this landscaping and this pool thing is taking me forever, and I'm like just moving it around like 50,000 times. Sorry, I'm not cutting it out. If I have to suffer doing it, you have to suffer watching it. That's just how it is. Sorry. I'm being so mean. But I wasn't done telling you about Denmark anyway, so it's okay. It's fine. Because I want to go to that monastery if it's raining. And if it's not raining, I'm going to go there anyway, because I really want to go there. Because it has a guided tour, it has like little museum things. There was a cafe, and I don't normally go to cafes because cafes in Norway are so expensive. But cafes in Denmark are fine; they're not that expensive, so it's okay. And people said, I went on like TripAdvisor, I think it was TripAdvisor, and people said cafe is not expensive. Cafe is not as expensive as you might think, which is good because I would think it's expensive. They're right. I did think that, so clearly it's not. It's not as expensive as I thought. So that's good to know. Always good to have people like tell you what you should be thinking. Where was I going with that? I don't know. If you know, please tell me. Christ. But yeah, I really want to go to that monastery. Probably sounds a bit weird, like why would you want to go there, but I want to go there. And I also want to go and look at the bunkers. They have a bunker museum, which we can also go to if it's raining. The bunkers I think are partly outside, but like that's fine. You have rain gear, like jackets and stuff. But last year I went to look at like a bunker, because they had like concrete bunkers, so that they dug into the sand cliffs. And this was during World War II. Like the Germans did that. I think they were occupying their country, and they had bunkers like dug into the sand. Correct me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong. But because of the like erosion from the ocean, erosion from the ocean, that kind of rhymes. Sorry about that. I know some people hate rhymes. But because of the erosion, the bunkers have now fallen down, and they're just like littered along the beach, like these giant concrete, like boxes almost. They're pretty much boxes. Are just scattered along the beach. It looks super weird. I'll try and film it this summer. But yeah, you should probably Google if you want to look at it, because waiting until summer is a bit long. But it just looks super weird. And I was climbing on them last year. I climbed out onto the top of one because it was like a 2-story thing. It was like a lookout tower bit at the top. And I climbed onto that, and I climbed onto the railing of that, and I stood up there, and it was during a sunset, and I figured it would be awesome if I had like a picture of me jumping up with like arms spread, like a starfish pose thing. You know what people do? Like they jump up and they spread arms and legs, and it looks cool, kind of. And I wanted one of those with like the background of the ocean. For some reason I wanted it on top of a bunker, like that's smart. And my mom was taking the picture, and I instructed her to do like when you hold down the take a picture button on the phone and it takes like 1,000,000 pictures. I instructed her to do that so that I would have like the ideal picture, because otherwise you miss it. And I jumped up and I did the starfish pose, and then I went back down. My foot slipped on the edge, and thank God I didn't roll like off the whole bunker thing, because it was 4 meters maybe down to the ground, 4 or 5. It's pretty high, like really high. So thank God I didn't roll that way. But like I fell down and landed on my ass, on my bum, on the edge of the bunker, like on the fence thing around the edge. Landed on my ass there, and then rolled off it, and landed inside the like lookout area on the top. I'm not explaining this super well, but the short and short of it is, it hurt. Like it really hurt. I really hurt my bum. Yeah. I couldn't really sit for like 2-3 days. We rented bikes, and I just had to like not. It was too painful to even sit on the bicycle seat. It was so painful. So yeah, moral of the story: don't starfish jump on top of bunkers. It's very bad for your backside. It's gonna hurt for a long time, and you cannot ride a bike or really sit comfortably in the car or in a restaurant or anywhere. You can't really sit comfortably for a couple of weeks. So don't. Just don't. But yeah, it's fine. It didn't ruin the trip. It was okay. And I do have the pictures, but I don't know where, so I'm sorry I can't show you. Also, it looked super stupid. So yeah. I just I'm trying to fix the roof here because the roof is stupid. Why can you not pull the roof out, like the edge of the roof, not the roof itself, but like just the like edge of the roof? Why can you not pull that? Why can you not pull that out from one side and not the other? Please, Sims 4. That's so annoying. And I tried to like make it double. Like I put it in like another roof bit and pulled that out instead. But I had to put it like over the middle of the build. I couldn't pull it further than that. It was just annoying. Okay, I couldn't figure it out. So I extended the living room slightly. It's just like cosmetic. I didn't put anything more in it. There's no extra space. It's just because I couldn't figure out how to make the roof work. So yeah, but that's the build done. Hope you like it. Hope you enjoyed. I did. So see you later then. Bye. Sorry that I just went on and on about my bum. I didn't mean to, I swear.